Hi there. Welcome to Bible/Chat. We're here chatting about the Bible.
Yes,
Jason,
we are.
good
Yet
to
again.
see you.
Good to see you.
This one is coming just a little bit late. Sorry about that. We had a flat tire incident yesterday that kept us from recording a video. But here we are. We're going to put these together for this coming week. And so we had a question this weekend at church,
we did.
Right?
We did. The question, well, in light of your sermon too, this is appropriate. When we realize that, in the final judgment, people are going to hell for all eternity and conscious eternal torment, how then, us in heaven, the believers in heaven, how can we have joy? Will we have joy?
Yeah.
And is that even right?
Yeah.
Joy in that their destruction while we are experiencing, the fullness of eternal life. How would we answer that?
Man, that's a super tough question.
Very tough.
It's really, really important to think through this. I think when we talk about joy, we want to be super careful. When we were talking about this just before.
No, of course, yeah.
But like that, we don't want to have like blissful glee in the punishment of people.
Of course.
God's heart is not like that. Very clear. Lamentations 3 says, He does not from His heart afflict the sons of men.
Of course.
He is righteous. He does visit iniquity, visit the iniquity of evildoers on their own heads, and yet that's not His desire in the first will of God sense. So,
of course.
So when we say we're joyful in heaven and our loved ones are in hell, that it's not saying we're joyful. We're like blissfully rejoicing that they're suffering. So we want to be super cautious there. But then we can also backtrack a little bit and say, I think we will be joyful in heaven. We will have fullness of joy in heaven. Of course. Even with our loved ones in hell, not because of their suffering, but because of the glory and righteousness of God being revealed through all of those events. Not only our eternal life and the reality of what Christ has done for us, but also their condemnation and what God has done and what God is revealing about Himself because of them. Right. So a couple texts that tell us that. One is in Psalm 96, the end of Psalm 96. It says, verse 11, "Let the heavens be glad and let the earth rejoice. Let the sea roar and all it contains. Let the field exult and all that is in it. Then all the trees of the forest will sing for joy." So you have all this joy. What's happening? Well, before the Lord, for He is coming. He is coming to judge the earth. He will judge the world in righteousness and the peoples in His faithfulness. So God's coming, He's going to judge, and it says literally, let everything in the earth and the heavens and the sea rejoice and roar with joy because God is coming to fix the problems. I think we think so lightly of sin. We've taken sin so lightly that we've made it almost a secondary thing to the fact that we love this person, and we've exalted personhood over sin. And the truth is, the exact opposite is true. Personhood is second to righteousness. And so God will eventually restore righteousness on the earth, and when He does, we will rejoice in that day. Sin taints our vision of those things now, but in that day, we'll see it clearly for what it is. True. And I think it's interesting, at the end of Revelation, we were just talking about this, the very last, very, very, very last thing in the Bible, even the very last message at the end of Revelation, Jesus is giving this message. He's saying, I'm coming, and He says in verse 12 of Revelation 22, I'm coming quickly, and my reward is with me to render to every man according to what he has done. In other words, judgment is coming on the earth. And it says, if you flip over, just there in verse 16, it says, verse 17, it says, the Spirit and the bride say, come. And let the one who hears say, come. Let the one who is thirsty come. Let the one who wishes take the water of life without cost. So He says the Spirit and the bride, the Spirit of God that's in our hearts, and the bride, which is the church. We're crying out for Him to come, knowing that will result in judgment. So our hearts are longing for God to come to restore the world, to restore righteousness, and to judge the wicked. So all of that is coming together to essentially to show the glory of Christ. And the Spirit longs for that, and I think because we have the Spirit, the church therefore longs for that as well.
And at the end, because like you said, the taint of sin will be removed, we'll be just like Jesus, inside and out. We'll see and feel and think exactly like Him, right? And so we'll have those holy thoughts and perceptions of justice and righteousness without jumping up for joy that someone is in hell, but seeing God's righteousness vindicated once and for all.
Exactly. Those sin-colored glasses get taken off, and now we can see clearly what ought to have been for all eternity.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks,
so
Jason.
helpful.
Appreciate it.